Hi. Now, in this episode, we are going to know something interesting about Ramanujan's life and his most prestigious works during third decade. That means after his age of 20 years, what were developments came across in his life. So, the major thing what happened on 14th July 1909, when he was around 23 years of age. His family arranged to make him married to Janki Amal. At that time, she was only 9 years of age. Knowing that nowadays it is looking something adverse, but it was practiced in Indian society. Early age marriage, we can say child marriage, even still existing in several parts of the India. Child marriages in the very early age. It is depending upon different parameters. Why the family or society forced to do that? Still it is in practice, some parts. Thereafter, Ramanujan also got a research position in Madras University in Chennai and moved with his family. That means with his wife and mother, and stayed in Madras, keep working on his fundamental mathematics independently, because nobody surroundings him and even nobody across the India who was able to understand his work. No one there who can suggest him, who can collaborate him, because he was very brilliant mind, very high caliber personality. His work was the very highest degree. No one was able to understand. But he used to communicate, he used to talk, he used to consult several persons. Then three persons. Out of three, there were two Indian and one British who was working at the Madras port. Where Ramanujan also worked for some time as a clerk and continued there working. They were planned to send Ramanujan research papers to some mathematicians to England. What they did, they sent his works to three different mathematicians to England. What was happened? The first one was Professor M.J.M. Hills. He was at the University College, London, But he returned his papers by pointing out some errors in his works, what he understood at that time. Two other professors, Professor Baker and Professor Hobson, they were returned his papers without even opening the envelope. Simply he sealed envelope, put another envelope, sealed and returned back to the address of Ramanujan. After getting these three communications and knowing that no one shown interest in his research work, he got depressed. It was unfortunate for him that he was thinking that he has very good results. Someone may recognize, but his idea, his approach was failed. He was uncomfortable. He was felt bad, but no way, because at that time, if we imagine before a century, we are talking around more than a century time before, situation was like that. Then, after some time, on 16th January 1913, Ramanujan decided to send some of his papers, was length in 9 pages, included some of his results, sent to Professor G.H. Hardy at University of Cambridge, England. Because Ramanujan were studied his some research works, especially work on infinite series that was published in 1910. So he was under impression that Hardy may understand his work. Hardy received his packet, which contained some fundamental research results made by Ramanujan. At the first look, he reached a conclusion that Ramanujan's papers were simply the fraud. But again, the next moment, he realized if anyone may try to make fraud, what would be the reason behind why he may communicate it to Hardy, and how one person can make the several results. Then he again re-looked on the papers and noticed something original, but he was unable to decide whether these results are correct, not correct. Then what he did, he collaborated one of his colleagues, Professor Littlewood, and they both together examined Ramanujan papers and concluded that the Ramanujan is not a simple mathematician. He may be the rank of Euler or Jacobi. His brain may be like Newton in originality. By good impressions of Ramanujan results, Hardy decided to bring Ramanujan to Cambridge. And before a 1 month time, on 13th February 1913, Hardy wrote a letter to Ramanujan expressing his interest in the work of Srinivasa Ramanujan and asking to Ramanujan that he is interested to look to see some proofs of his works, of his result. Further, without waiting Ramanujan reply, or maybe his letter which he was sent on 13th February 1913 may not reach to Madras. He himself, means Professor Hardy himself, contacted the Indian office in Cambridge University. Indian office means there was one section in Cambridge University which was coordinating, which was facilitating the students who were coming from the India for the study purpose at the time. And Hardy discussed everything and make plan, ensured Ramanujan to reach Cambridge. Finally, 17 March 1914, Ramanujan traveled to England, leaving his wife with his parents in India. He was traveled from India to England by sea route, which took around a month to reach him there. Now, this is the story of Ramanujan's life, the part of his life struggle, indicating almost 7 years, some facts, which indicates difficulties he was facing in every stage. But the knowledge was recognized by Professor Professor G.H. Hardy. He was a mathematician of the highest caliber at that time. He had many credit to reform the Cambridge University by his own effort independently, even by a single hand. And even if we say one of his most recognized efforts, that means true third for mathematics student. Even still nowadays, 2025 still the true third examinations in Cambridge University, that means it is for the master's program, still continuing 1 year master's program. That was designed by Professor G.H. Hardy. And now, after reaching the Ramanujan to Cambridge, the 5 years, next 5 years, that means 19014 to 19019, the Ramanujan and Hardy together, they make wonderful research which are inspiring entire academics, entire scientific communities till today even, and hope their findings will continue helping science ever in future, because their many results are exploring new chapters each and every moment scientific new discoveries. So, other information about Ramanujan and Hardy we will see, we will watch in next episode. Thank you for now. Goodbye.